So it's Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by the current and two-time British middleweight champion, Denzel Bentley. Denzel, how are you, mate?
I'm all good, thanks. And yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. I saw you out in April. You were out 3 times in total last year. So I guess the big question, because you're always in good fights, when are we going to see you again?
I've been told October, so I'm hoping, something comes up in October. Yeah, you know me, I don't really like being inactive because I'm always in the gym anyway. So I'm waiting for a date. I was hoping to be out earlier. Missed out on the summer because I was hoping to get out in the summer, but that didn't happen. But it looks like October's the date.
There was a lot of talk about a potential rematch with Zanny Beck, who, of course, you pushed all the way in a world title opportunity, maybe even bringing him over here to the UK. How close did that come to reality in the end?
Conversation. That's what it was. Just a bit of conversation. He wasn't too willing to come over in here and fight me. He didn't really see the point, which I understand. But it looks like it doesn't look like anyone's in a rush to fight him. Although now I've seen that he might be having a unification bout, so that probably works out better for him. But yeah, before that, he just wasn't too keen on coming over to fight me. So yeah, that's just about as far as I got. Just conversation.
What happens in terms of other routes? Obviously, you've got world rankings. There's been talk of the European title before. We've been waiting seemingly forever for Felix Cash, his fight, mandatory fight for that title. Is that a route you'd like to go down?
Yeah, most definitely, man. That's the route I'd like to take 100% because that gets me ranked in every governing body. I think right now I'm only ranked in two, but winning the European will give me, if not top 10, or yeah, if not a top five, at least a top 10 in every governing body. So that'll be a good route to take. But boxing, man, it's always easier, to speak about it than to actually get it done for some reason.
Do you feel sometimes like you need to be more, I don't want to say vocal, but more active on social media, more calling people out? Because that seems to be the way the media side of the sport is going. It's not really your natural character, though.
Yeah, it's quite annoying because that, like you said, that's not my style. I'm not a type of person that just goes on social media and starts talking about, oh, I'm next and I'm this and I'm that. I'd rather just fight. I use social media for personal things, especially like Twitter. I like to laugh at other things, share things in group chats, and that's why I use social media for. I don't really use it to, you know, um, talk rubbish or force everyone to feel like I'm next. If you can't watch me and appreciate my talent, then you obviously don't think I'm good enough or whatever. But I guess in all sports nowadays, you have to be vocal to be seen rather than be talented. It's all about who you can attract by your controversy or wherever it is. But that's not me, man. If I'm doing something and you catch it on camera, it's different. But to just go out my way to try and start talking my way into position isn't my kind of style. But maybe you're right. Maybe I just have to take that approach. I might do it wrong and make a fool of myself. But hey, at least I get some attention in
Mate, if anyone knows about making a fool of themselves on social media, you're Matt right.
it.
Um, you're, as I mentioned before, two-time British champion. You've got the Lonsdale belt outright, I believe, for British title victories, obviously. Have you thought about relinquishing it? Does it benefit you in any way to relinquish it?
I mean, it doesn't because where do I go if I relinquish it? At least if I got this belt, some people might be drawn to want to try and compete for it or fight for it, whatever. I'm not being moved in any direction right now. So to relinquish it, it just leaves me stagnant. It's like, where'd you go now? You ain't got anything. You're not any sort of champion or whatever. Like, who's going to be in a rush to fight you? So I'm waiting to be moved into a certain direction, and I can let it go because, I've been fighting for this British title since 2020. It's a long time. Do you know what I mean? No one really fights for this belt for that long or holds on to it for that long. But I tried to win it outright. They're telling me I need to fight a mandatory before I can keep it and all these other things. So it's like I'd rather be pushing another direction. I'm not getting any younger. I like to be in good fights, and ultimately I want to be a world champion and staying British champion for however long isn't going to push me to a world championship.
I think most people agree that, if anything, it was underlined by your performance against Kieran Smith that you are way beyond domestic level now. One fight domestically that has been talked about before, predominantly by your promoters at Queensbury, is a fight with fellow Queensbury fighter Hamza Charas. Now, the board recently ordered that. it seems like a fight that's bigger now than the British title. It was always kind of his team maybe chasing yours. He's now got a high world ranking as well. Is that a fight you'd entertain? Would you want there to be more on the line than the British?
I don't really care. I mean, I don't really mind. I just want to fight. Of course, I want there to be more on the line, but if that fight presented itself, who am I to say no? You know what I mean? I think automatically, like you said, it's bigger than, what it is for a British strap. Whether the British strap's on the line or not, it would be bigger than that. And where we're both world ranked, and it will just put us higher in the rankings to go towards the world title. So, I mean, I guess we'll benefit from it anyway. But, I mean, I don't think that's the fight that they want right now. I think that's the fight. I think they're trying to build their world ranking and just go straight for a world title, which is cool. That's your decision. But I've just really had enough about hearing about that fight because it's not a fight that they want to have anytime soon. And I'm focused on fights, that I can have in the near future, like pretty soon. Like next or next year. This is the fight they probably want to build. And I mean, do your job and build it. But I'm kind of tired of answering questions about that, if I'm being honest.
Well, I don't know if this one qualifies as one you could have next year, but when we last spoke to Hamza, he was interested potentially in the winner of this weekend's main event between Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr., the rematch. They're obviously fighting at middleweight, so it's in your division, different promotional entities, of course. Is that one that would interest you, the winner of that?
100%. I mean, even the loser of that is a good fight. You know what I mean? I mean, they're both good fighters, and they're both, they're both good fighters in their own rights. I mean, Eubanks obviously carrying his dad's name, and anyone would want that name on their record. He's got to where he's got to. Liam Smith is a former world champion at the weight below, but he's come up a weight and he's beat, on BoxRec the number one ranked middleweight. So in the country. So I think either of them will be a good fight, and to get any of those names in your record would be pretty good for anybody.
Yeah, because it'd be a massive win for you in terms of the name value that they bring. But on paper, in the ring, it seems like a competitive fight with either of them.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it is. It is. I think some people just like judge too far on domestic and world level based on these people's names and what they've done in the past and stuff, which is cool. But I mean, they've been around in the scene a long time. But there's a new crop coming through, and eventually we're going to get to that level. When we get there, it'll be time to prove whether we're on that level or not. And I don't think either of those guys want to give any of the young guns coming through a shot at their scalp, unless, let's say, one of us had a world title or something. But for them, what it does them more harm than good fighting us, especially if they lose. So I think they're out for their big money fights. Probably got a year or two until they retire. So I mean, unless like we're chasing hard and we're big names and it benefits them financially, then yeah, they'll probably take those fights. I mean, Anthony Fowler's a case for Liam Smith. He wasn't really a young gun. He was probably around the same age as Liam Smith, but he was coming through. But it benefited him financially because it was a big Liverpool kind of dust up, and and with it, can't say old and new. Yeah, well, like in with the new, out with the old kind of thing. But he managed to be victorious and continue his career. And Fowler was the one that retired. But I mean, in the case of me, I mean, it'd probably be a little bit harder for me to get a fight like that. But
Yeah,
I would definitely love to. If I did get called up thinking I was a warm-up fight, I'd love to take that.
I bet. And talking of that fight, who do you fancy in the rematch?
I think I'm going to go with Liam Smith, if I'm being honest. I mean, Eubank's got a lot to work on. I don't think BOMAC's going to be able to brush him up in just 4 weeks of having him. Liam Smith is a very good fighter. I mean, he's got a tight guard. He moves well. Got a good punch selection. And he's coming off the win of the first fight, so he's going to come with more confidence and probably press that a little bit harder. Eubank was caught in between styles. I'm not sure what route he's going now, but he was caught in between styles. I think he lost that aggressive, ferocious engine type of fighter where he just throws shots and takes shots. I think his chin's been broken, so now he might think twice about falling in or taking shots. His defense ain't the best. He throws his shots from the hips, and he just got a lot more to kind of tighten up on than Liam Smith does. So I'm going to go with Liam Smith this time.
And that was obviously some great analysis, typical of what we expect from you. We saw you translating that to TV not too long ago when TNT was still BT. Are we going to see any repeat of that? You back on the punditry duty?
I mean, at this point, I'm probably getting more punditry work than I am fights. So maybe they're
It's when
pushing
it
me into
starts
retirement
paying better
early.
that you need to be happy. You know, you can retire.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, no, hopefully one day I'd like to get in that. I mean, I could talk boxing all day, so to do it, on TV or, do it as a job, I mean, yeah, I'd be grateful. I mean, I'd be happy to do that.
I feel like I
Whenever
should
they
pay
call me
you
up, I'm ready.
now.
Yeah,
Maybe one day when
maybe
we're up
one
there with the
day.
TNT Sports. Well, really appreciate your time, mate. I hope you get a date in the diary sooner rather than later. And yeah, let's not leave it so long next time. That's all on me, but
Yeah,
let's catch up soon.
yeah, most definitely. Thank you.
We could take care, mate. Speak soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.